Hello everyone. Okay, have you ever wondered why ice floats on water? I mean, you might think that okay, the density of ice is lower than the density of water. Yes, sure, but why? I mean, or to put it in other words, 100 grams of ice has higher volume than 100 grams of water. But why? This is counterintuitive, right? Because when you cool down something, a material, you would expect that its volume should decrease, right? But the inverse of this is happening for water. Actually, water is an exception. In general, in nature, most of the materials, when solidify from their liquid state, their volume decreases. But for ice, no. Ice volume of water increases when you cool it down and when it solidifies. This is an exception. There are several exceptions in nature, and water is one of them. And it's related to its chemical structure. As you know, the water consists of H2O molecules or dihydrogen oxide. It's like a triangle, right? So oxygen is on one side and hydrogen atoms on the other corners of the triangle. So hydrogen atoms give their electrons to the oxygen atom, and so oxygen atom becomes -2, and each of the hydrogen atoms are +1, electrically charged. So this is known in physics as a dipole. Okay, so you can imagine it as a small magnet. Okay, so these small magnets are vibrating, rotating at let's say room temperature. Okay, inside the liquid they are vibrating, rotating. So when this happens, at some instances, two water molecules are pointing in the same direction. When that happens, they attract each other, like two magnets attracting each other, so that the distance between them decreases. But if you wait enough, they will continue to vibrate and rotate, and then their direction becomes opposite to each other, so that they repel each other, so the distance between them increases. What happens is that at 4 Celsius degrees, the volume of water becomes minimum. In other words, its density becomes maximum. This is because if you look at the average geometry, since they are in time vibrating and oscillating and rotating, if you look at the average geometry, you will find that number of water molecules, these small magnets that are pointing in the same direction, becomes maximum at 4 Celsius degrees. And so that since the number of molecules pointing in the same direction is maximum, the attraction is maximum, therefore the volume is minimum, therefore the density is maximum, therefore water at 4 Celsius degrees has the maximum density. If you continue to cool it down, perhaps to 0 Celsius degrees, then what happens is that the average geometry is such that number of molecules pointing in the same direction decreases. Because of this reason, and when it solidifies and becomes a crystal, its crystal structure is such that the molecules pointing in the same direction, number of molecules pointing in the same direction is less than the number corresponding to the structure at 4 Celsius degrees. Therefore, volume increases, density decreases. Therefore, the density of ice is lower than the density of water. Because of that reason, ice floats. So just keep in mind that this is an exception in nature. Most of the materials do not exhibit this feature. Most of the materials, when they solidify, their volume decreases, their density increases. Okay, so that's all, folks. Okay, bye bye.